Hello everyone, this is Commander Trium back once again with another chapter of activity in the fun-filled elite universe. Oh, hang on a minute. And now we are back in the elite universe, making money. And this is continuing from our earlier efforts. We had to stop at a side starport. Where we just finished making 2 million credits for a simple delivery mission. Let's see if we can't get a hold of our wingman.
Have you ever been flogged by a handful of wet spaghetti noodles?
Why, having a food fight with your family?
No.
No, I have not been noodled before.
You should try it. It's quite tasty.
I try to restrict food sex to the bedroom, not the dinner table.
I prefer it in the kitchen, and I don't have food crumbs all over my bed when I'm trying to sleep at night.
I don't have to have crumbs. It depends if it's foamy or fruity or whatever. Anyway, I got a job today.
Congratulations.
So now I get to work at the Defense Department. Which means tomorrow and through the weekend I'm going to have to review some documentation on developing with SharePoint since I've been off for a long time. Or I haven't done any SharePoint development, but it's paying me considerably less per hour than I'm used to making, but at least it's something. And I don't have to worry. Well, that's pretty much my attitude. I'm just gonna take the money and shut up and do my job. It won't be enjoyable, but well, it won't be hugely enjoyable, but at least it'll be something. And what else? I guess that's the big news of the day. Oh, there were some extra news articles in the Galnet. Something about the Thargoids launching things soon.
Not anywhere too close to Thargoid activity, so...
Well, I moved further... Someone there playing a violin?
Yes, my daughter.
Oh.
My son's playing the guitar at the same time, so...
Well, I used to play the violin myself, so it's exciting to hear that your daughter plays. If we ever actually got to meet each other, I'd have to bring my fiddle with me.
What?
Does she like jazz? You could play a bit of...
I don't know what she likes. She's got weird taste. She's 12 years old.
Well, try some jazz fiddle.
Do you like jazz music? She says no.
A straight classical? What?
Okay, her name is Jasmine. So her nickname is Jazz. She don't like jazz music because people... whatever.
That's a terrible reason to not like jazz music.
She's 12 years old.
Tell her not to worry about it.
Her tastes and everything change from one day to the next.
Okay, so Didier Manja's Emperor's Grace has completed work on the Tiberian Academy, a flight school for Imperial Naval Cadets. The organization is hosting an inaugural banquet.
Well, you better enroll so you can learn how to fly.
Yeah, I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah.
And also, it's to honor the late Admiral Mira Tevarian, the organization's founding member, who will have a monument erected at the site. I didn't actually get enough credits for to buy the prismatic shield in time, so I have to go one more week. But hopefully, this week I can make enough money through this weekend where I can buy some prismatic shields, and then I can break off the relationship with the Duval family. The Tiberian Academy will provide new recruits with cutting-edge training facilities. To host a fitting banquet for this inauguration, we require help in sourcing a range of exotic food and drink. We require a quantity of gold to make the monument raised in the Admiral's memory a truly spectacular tribute. Campaign begins on 5 July 3304 and will run for 1 week. If final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. So I actually participated in last week's community goal, and there's 1 million credits there waiting for me. And I just delivered 2 million credits worth of nothing. It was a simple cargo mission that was only 17 light years and less than 100 light seconds away from the arrival point in the star system. So I took that one and got a quick 2 million in about 5 minutes. That was exciting.
Oh, it usually is.
There's the Thargoid 5th column. And didn't I say something about the Thargoids and using the religious centers as spy recruitment centers? Like the Thargoids were using the churches as spies to recruit spies.
Could be.
Anyway, that's what they're doing. Possibly. Or it's just an excuse to take the antisocial Thargoid worshippers and persecute them.
I'd say there's a lot of that happening.
Well, yeah, I know, I'd want to see some hard evidence, one way or the other, before I start taking it out on the church. But I will not be joining the Thargoid 5th column.
Why not? I'd enjoy it.
Well, I was sympathetic to some of their complaints about the Federation and the Empire, but then they started attacking everybody, and now I'm not as sympathetic. Surprise, surprise. And the League of Reparation has suffered a setback because the Empire has arrested some more of the leadership. So lots of stuff going on where the Thargoids are concerned.
It's the main plot line right now in this game.
Yeah, but the main war is about to start. What we've had up to this point is nothing. When those base ships start showing up, that's when everyone can start shitting their pants.
Better make sure you buy some toilet paper in bulk.
I was just planning to go with a diaper. Wearing my spacesuit diaper from Remlock.
Well, you'd be able to just solve the problem. You just move your computer room into the bathroom so you can sit on the shitter and you don't have to worry about it.
Well, exactly. That way it's just like... It's like South Park, where you just sit on top of a urinal And food comes in one end, and then shit comes out the other.
Whoops.
Or waste.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Really?
Waste? No, I'm not kidding. It does come out.
No.
She has to put a little bit more faith into her playing.
And she's not happy because I told her she's going to play for an hour. She's already played for about 20 minutes.
An hour?
Being an evil father.
Well, playing the same thing over and over again does get kind of tedious. It's kind of like a grind.
Yeah, but how do you get good at something if you don't work?
Practice, practice, practice. Yes, I know. You don't get to Carnegie Hall any other way. Of course, your daughter might not make it quite that far. I myself have not been to Carnegie Hall. And even if I were invited, I would not be able to cross the border without paying the U.S. government a sizable amount of money. And I don't want to, because it would go into Trump's campaign war chest or some fucking thing. Okay. I was noticing recently just how pissed off that Trump is making me. Like, when I think about him, I become, like, anxious and pissed off. And I've never felt this way about a U.S. president before. I can tell you quite safely. I mean, I've been nervous with certain Republican leaders like Bush and whatnot, but I've never felt like this. Like we're all going to succumb to some sort of tyranny.
Oh, I doubt that.
Well, when he keeps talking about being president for life, it's hard not to imagine that's what's going through his tiny little mind.
There's no way he'll ever be president for life.
What do you think would happen if he tried to run for a third term? Like, had the Constitution altered so that the presidency could be held for more than 2 terms?
He can't do it. He'd never get
it through Congress.
It never happen. There's only one reason why they cannot go for a third term. Because George Washington said no. When he was asked to run a third time, he said no.
Yeah, but there were two American presidents did try to. When George Washington did it, it was just a convention. But eventually, someone had to make it a law because there was an actual...
It's a law that cannot be broken now.
Right.
It's not going to change for anyone. You really think the Democrats will actually pull behind that theory to let Donald Dumb Trump be president for a third term?
Well, the Republicans still have a majority in the Senate, even though it's only 1 or 2 seats.
It doesn't matter. For something like that, you need 2/3 majority.
No, I think for to change the Constitution, one of the measures that was passed as soon as Trump got elected, if memory serves correctly, I may be wrong about this, but he had the law changed so that you need a simple majority in the Senate now instead of 2/3.
No, you can't. He can't change that.
But even if it were a simple,
he doesn't have the authority to just make up laws.
No, the Congress voted on it itself, but I mean that particular measure went through. I was watching CNN the other day. It's where the source of the information comes from. Now that may apply to some laws and not others. I don't know, but
for any constitutional changes, it has to be 2/3 of the vote.
Yeah, it's certainly.
It's written into the damn Constitution, I do believe.
Yeah, I know, but the Congress can amend that. The amending formula for the Constitution of the United States does require 2/3 majority to amend. Did or does require 2/3 majority to amend the Constitution. I think they got that somehow for this particular first measure, which was just simple, to authorize simple majorities, and instead of going the full 2/3. I could be wrong, as I said. I'm not going to stand behind it 100%. In Canada, we can have prime ministers that go on for a third term, and have had that happen several times, but Trudeau Sr., Justin's father, actually, he was twice prime minister. He was voted down by Clark for 8 months in 1979. Then he banded together with the NDP to get enough seats in the House of Commons to become prime minister again, propped up by the NDP. So there was no election. It was just two parties banding together. And then he was prime minister for another 2 terms, in the second of which he got another majority elected. But there was never a sense with Trudeau that, he was taking over the government, becoming a tyrant. He was being legitimately and democratically elected each and every time that he had the mandate. And he didn't want to be prime minister for life. He went back to his law practice after his 4th term. So he was, and he wrote a couple books, and then he passed away, unfortunately. He was a brilliant, brilliant guy. And he was one of the last, what I call the great orators of the country. He wasn't the greatest of orators that the country has ever seen, but he was very, very good at giving speeches.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we want. Galaxy map. And we want... Come here, you pinhead. No. Wrong.
Okay, I'm back.
Uh-huh. In Canada, the Constitution's amending formula is a little bit different than it is in the States. Here you have to have the House of Commons plus 7 out of 10 provinces representing 50% or more of the population of the country to amend the Constitution. Some people call it that, have said that that's unrealistically complex, but it has served us so far. Of course, the only serious constitutional amendment anyone's ever proposed is getting rid of the Senate completely, or making it elected like it is in the United States. I'd rather see it be elected. Than abolished.
What Trump is trying to do is trying to abolish some of the regulations for Obamacare.
Landing gear retracted.
That sounds correct. Like I said, I heard it had gone through, but...
Oh, it's minor things. It's not, it started off that they basically were able to change it so that presidential nominations to the Supreme Court only required 51 votes instead of...
That's right.
Hope to see you again, Commander.
And that's only through the Senate. Still has to go through Congress. All the Congress, the Senate, they're two different bodies.
Yep.
You got to get any bill has to go through both houses before it can ever even have a chance to become a law. So I mean, you got to get hundreds and hundreds of people to agree on this before it can even happen.
Well, in the 1990s, we had another kind of constitutional crisis here, in that there was something called the Charlottetown Accord, which was going to bring Quebec into the Constitution. Quebec is the only outstanding province that has not signed on to the 1982 Constitution of Canada. They're still bound by it legally, but they haven't. It's a huge thing that they haven't signed on to it. So, periodically in Canadian politics, you'll see that come up, where, oh shit. Hang on here. You'll see times in Canadian politics where someone will propose something that requires constitutional amendment, and of course they try to throw in everything in the kitchen sink into a kind of omnibus proposal. And the result is usually disaster. Okay, here we are. Because they're going to try to bring Quebec in. And to get Quebec to sign on to this is extremely difficult, because Quebec wants language protections so that French doesn't get subsumed into a continent of English. You've got the United States to the south and most of Canada that is still English speaking. So Quebecers feel their culture as distinct from Anglophone culture is under threat constantly from being obliterated by a continent that is otherwise full of English.
If they want to speak French, let them speak French. Who the fuck cares?
Well, in the United States, if Quebec were to try to join the United States, what would be the first thing that they would be giving up? Would be their language. The Americans have never the United States has never shown any tolerance for including a state's language rights. There is a melting pot philosophy that governs in the United States. So, if Puerto Rico, Quebec, or
doesn't give a damn what they want to speak. English is
the official language.
It's not legally required.
It isn't?
How many damn languages are there spoken in the United States?
One, English.
All of our fucking legal documents are in numerous different fucking languages.
Oh yeah, sure, but I mean, in court, if you go to a tribunal in the United States, the spoken language at that tribunal is going to be English. There's no question.
Yeah, but if somebody that's on trial doesn't speak English, there's going to be a fucking translator there.
That's different. That's just a translator.
You can't expect 9 people to go and learn a new fucking language for the one person.
No, but that would be in Quebec. If I lived in Quebec, and I received a summons to jury duty, would be expected that I would speak either English or French, and if I wasn't fluent in French for a trial conducted in French, then I would not be eligible for jury duty. Period.
Well, honestly, where the problem is, nobody really cares. The majority of people speak one language, well, that's the common language. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to point out there is a difference. Like, Canada has two official languages, English and French. The United States only has one. And it does matter in terms of what services you are given from the government. And the government's not obliged, and this is by Supreme Court ruling, if I'm not much mistaken on the subject.
I think you're very well mistaken, because you're not required to speak English in order to get
A fair trial?
be considered a citizen.
No, not to be considered a citizen, but if you get into a trial situation, the court is not necessarily obliged to provide you with a translator if one can't be located. If you speak,
They are required to.
you're kidding me.
Just like if you cannot afford a lawyer, the government is required to get you a lawyer.
Well, here, regardless, it doesn't matter. I don't think Canadian government would conduct a trial in Mandarin. It would just take one person to object, saying, look, the two official languages are English and French. One person who's an officer of the court makes that objection, bang, the whole trial's got to be conducted in one of the two official languages, or both.
So the poor guy that's on trial doesn't speak the official language.
Tough.
He's automatically guilty and sent to prison because he doesn't speak the official language.
No, he still gets a trial. It's just
pretty fucking retarded.
it isn't. It's not. First of all, it's not even against United Nations Human Rights Charter.
And that guy's still gonna have a translator there.
He may. He probably would. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't. But if one weren't available or one could not be located, and if this person is a citizen of Canada, it's expected that one or one of the two official languages be spoken. Otherwise, you can't be. I don't think you can even become a citizen. There's a language test component in the United States, is there not? You have to be fluent in English to a certain degree.
Really? How many?
To a certain degree.
People are in this country. Quite a few.
Yeah, but that doesn't. Did they come through the sanctioned process? No.
Many of them, yes.
Many of them did, sure.
Spanish is becoming very common in the United States.
Yes, it has.
Spanish is the second most common language in the United States.
Understood. But that doesn't mean the United States is going to start conducting trials in Spanish.
No. But if you got a Spanish guy or a person that's on trial for something, then guess what?
They get a translator, sure.
There.
Sure.
They have the right to defend themselves, which means they have the right to have representation and be able to communicate.
Right, to the rest of the court. They can speak their mind in Spanish, which, by the way, still puts them at a disadvantage anyway, because a translation is never completely the same as being able to speak and understand the language fluently yourself and understand the context of what's being said. But for the most part, you'll get a translation, a representation of what they're trying to say, the ideas they're trying to communicate, and they will get a defense that way, but it'll be vetted through a translator. It's still, I think if you move to the United States, my own mind is this, that yeah, it's fine if I speak French only and I'm a Canadian citizen being tried in an American tribunal for something I may or may not have done wrong. Sure, there would be a French translator present, or a Francophone translator present, but if I spoke English, I'd feel far more advantaged that way, would I not?
Basically, going back to your talking about earlier, in 1975 it was changed so a 3/5 vote is needed for many things for the Senate, but if it's anything to do with
the Constitution,
if it's anything constitutional, it's still the Senate needs 67 votes, 2/3 majority to pass anything.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's even in the House of Representatives.
Okay. I defer to your statement.
You will not be able to do it.
So all this talk of Trump being president for life is a bunch of nonsense.
Trump will never be president. He'd have to become a fucking dictator. And do you really think that this country would let a dictator, or let him become a dictator? They'd shoot him.
No, not easily.
He'd never survive.
No. I think he could delude himself to thinking he could, but I don't think...
He's in his own delusional world.
Yeah.
The rest of us live in reality. There are laws and rules and regulations that we abide and live by. Just because he thinks he's special doesn't mean he's going to get his way.
No, and he doesn't always get his way. I understand this so far, but the man is wealthy. He's been living in his own world for a lot longer than he's been president. As far as I can tell, the guy is like completely crackers, and I'm astounded, absolutely flabbergasted that he's even president.
No, you play your violin.
I'm absolutely flabbergasted he was even president. The guy, I think he might be guilty of treason if it turns out he's been plotting with Putin or conspiring with Putin to take the presidency at any level. In my book, that would be an act contrary to his oath as president. And do I think he's capable of it psychologically? Sure. I think if he felt if it gave him an edge over Hillary, all that nonsense about lock her up, Jesus Christ. Talking about the difference between misunderstanding regulations governing email and conspiring with a foreign government to buy the United States presidency. The United States presidency shouldn't even be buyable anyway. It's too important. Matters to too many of us. And that was my original point. Just this morning, I saw images of a Canadian steel mill plant that the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, was citing as an example of casualties from U.S. trade sanctions that were imposed supposedly because Trump's government argues that, the Trump administration argues that steel is a strategic asset, or a strategic resource that Canada cannot be trusted to provide. And
maybe if the United States gave a damn, we'd start mining our own damn resources and buying up against everybody else. We've got more than enough resources. Steel.
I'm sure you do.
All kinds of steel mills or places to mine steel.
That's very good. That's very good. But the United States also signed on to a free trade agreement, right? That was negotiated several years ago, and it was negotiated in good faith, and there were lots of smart people that were at the table representing the United States, contrary to what Trump believes. And by the way, I had thought at the time that keeping the tariffs and sanction system in place was a good idea. I was wrong about that. Canada and the United States have both prospered under NAFTA, in my view. And things have been happy between us ever since. And I would like to see things go back to being free trade.
The one downside to NAFTA is that a lot of jobs have disappeared because it's cheaper and easier for companies to just buy stuff out of Mexico or have it build plants in Mexico and have stuff made there or in South America. That's where the problem with NAFTA is.
But you see, the trade...
A lot of companies are choosing that it's cheaper to, instead of making it here in America, for having it made elsewhere and shipping it here because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Yes, it's perfectly legal. It's great. It helps other countries out, and to a certain degree, it helps us out. But a lot of the manufacturing industries in this country have been harmed by it.
And the standards of living in Mexico have also improved immeasurably, which meant that Mexican workers were making more money, yes. But that's a good thing too, because that means those jobs will eventually probably come back to the United States in the end.
No, because...
Why not?
Now they send all the jobs to China, or all that kind of work to China.
Well, China's not even part of NAFTA.
No, it doesn't matter. As far as business goes, they send the work where it's cheapest to get it. It is extremely expensive to have anything made in the United States. It's cheaper to have it made elsewhere.
Standards of living in China are changing though too, aren't they?
So I don't know, and honestly, it doesn't matter. It does not directly affect me what the living standards in China are.
It will eventually.
Just because my viewpoint says that maybe it's getting better there, maybe if you're actually in China and you're a Chinese person there, living there day to day, maybe it's not getting better, maybe it's getting worse.
Well, I think the record shows that pretty conclusively it's getting better, and what that means is that it's getting more expensive for companies to hire in those regions. What inevitably happens in regions where this kind of trade occurs is the standard of living gets upgraded almost immediately in the countries that have the cheap labor, and people realize, oh, hey, you know what? I can make more money because I'm now competing with American workers, not the guy standing next to me in Mexico City or in Shanghai or wherever. So they demand more money, and the companies are willing to provide it because it's really not, initially at least, it's not that much money. But over time, within like a decade, the standards of living change. People are driving cars in China in larger numbers than it's ever been recorded before. In fact, it's such a huge worry. In Beijing, there's a cloud of frickin' smog that hangs over the city almost 24/7 now. It looks like a Thargoid. It looks like a Thargoid base, for God's sake, because it's like.
If living is getting better in China, how does that affect us when we're the ones trying to find jobs that have been lost due to the...
Inside that 10-year period, that I spoke of, which you're well into now, by the way, where China's concerned, but inside that 10-year period, you will see it. Yes, some companies will walk away. Others will take the long view, outside of the service sector economy in particular, and they will remain in the United States. So the professions, the higher paying jobs, the ones that paralegals, lawyers, doctors, medical professionals, scientists, people in higher demand, where education is important, so-called enlightened career paths, will take machinists like yourself. Will take more of the job market up, and will still stay there, recognizing that to go and have to train all these people who were living, day to day or paycheck to paycheck in country X, where the standard of living was considerably below that of the United States, they wouldn't have those skills. They never even had the opportunity for that kind of an education, not in the numbers that would be required. This is one of the reasons that those salaries I'm talked about are going up in those countries, because they still demand, as the economy develops, they still end up having to, develop their economy along the lines of a first world economy instead of a third world economy.
But we still haven't figured out the solution to the problem here, though, is
Well, correct.
Their way of life is improving, but since all of the manufacturing that we did here is going over there,
you think it just stays there? It doesn't ever come back. Why would it come back? Except that
what do we do here now? All of a sudden, we're becoming.
I don't think you want the United States. No, I don't think you want the United States to be a service economy. And the service economy jobs are the ones I'm talking about that go overseas, or tend to. That's why you have call centers in India, and that's why when you phone 1-800 wherever the fuck, you get someone with an Indian or a Pakistani voice accent, heavily accented in your tech support calls. At least that's what I've found. But even those jobs have come back to North America.
Not nearly as well as you seem to think they are.
Are you really sure about that? Because I've got numbers.
Well, okay, where I live, you got numbers for the state of South Dakota?
No, of course not. I've got national numbers. But in Vancouver...
I don't live in New York City, so therefore the economy in New York City does not affect me directly.
No, but your economy is doing fine. Your job is secure, by the sounds of things. It's not going...
My job is secure because the company I work for has offices and facilities all around the damn world.
Right.
They diversified that much.
Right.
My previous employer, they are losing jobs all the time, losing customers all the time to China or other places, and they can't replace those jobs to the point where they've had to downsize the staff there. So how's that? It's getting better in China because they're getting American or work that was done in America. But what happens to us now? All of a sudden, there's a bunch of people out of job because what their jobs basically went.
I admit there's movement. I'm not saying that it's a net loss, though. I mean, we don't know. What I haven't heard said is whether or not there's more diversification from American-based companies that is occurring.
Jobs available here.
But is that a South Dakota problem? I mean, you mentioned New York and Los Angeles.
Damn problem. You look in the line of work that I'm in. For the most part, we don't get paid that great for what we do.
Well, I don't think I get paid that great for what I do either, but maybe that's just an economic...
Machinist trades have been around for 50, 60 years, and a lot of them really haven't increased. There's not a lot of growth in this industry. It's gotten to the point that a lot of the damn jobs have been sent overseas because it's cheaper to manufacture there than here. So guess who gets harmed? People that actually do the manufacturing jobs.
Well, it's strange.
Now, go and get jobs doing something that they don't have a fucking clue about.
Yeah, it's strange that people would be opening call centers or tech support centers in Vancouver, which is going to require that you pay Canadian labor, with Canadian socialized medicine and all the other socialist programs we have. You still have to pay. You get deductions off every paycheck to pay for those programs, so you've got to pay into it as an employer. And it's very strange that with all these extra costs, and it is high relative to the rest of the world, that we have call centers opening in Canada, in Toronto, in Vancouver, in Montreal, both supporting French and English language. In New Brunswick is another favorite spot. What's that?
My daughter.
No.
Yeah, let's turn that air back on.
How hot was it down there today?
80-some degrees, damn near 90 degrees.
Holy Christ. Yeah, my father said in Winnipeg it was the same story. It was like 90-ish. I don't know what it is about the Fahrenheit scale. It just makes me think of 90 degrees, like boiling water, boiling flesh off your bone.
Boiling water, but it's...
Well, the hottest place on Earth ever recorded was in Pakistan at 53 degrees Celsius. That's ever. on the surface of this planet. 53 plus 53.7 degrees Celsius, which is well over 90 Fahrenheit. And it's well past, it's almost 17 degrees Celsius warmer than what the human body needs to rehydrate itself. Like, you sweat as part of your body's cooling system. But once you go above 37 degrees Celsius, upwards of 40, your body can't do that anymore because it's actually warmer outside your body than inside. So you can't cool off. It just gets hotter and hotter and hotter.
The human body is 98.
Yeah, 98, that's right. I remember that.
96 or 98 degrees, something like that, is what the human body is.
I think it's 98.3 if memory serves, but I could be wrong. So it's been a number of years since I was schooled in Fahrenheit.
Well, at 80 degrees and a lot of fucking humidity is just miserable. Humidity makes it worse.
Yeah, definitely. But just to finish off my last...
Not even getting into August. August is generally the hottest time of the year for us.
That's true.
Get to about halfway through September, the temperature starts to
move south, yeah. But just to finish off my earlier point, it's if Canada has the ability to take some of these jobs back from overseas and to diversify its own economy, surely the United States does. You have a stronger economy than we do. You're 10 times our size economically. So it should be possible. I don't understand why there'd be a problem. We have the same NAFTA as you. We're bound by the same treaty. The terms aren't really that much different, except that they favor the import of natural resources back into the United States, which has more manufacturing facilities. The idea was, at the time, that you guys would take our natural resources and turn them into reusable products or into higher value products that you would sell back to us. That was the philosophy behind NAFTA. What it was for Mexico, I don't know. Canada and Mexico don't have huge amounts of trade with each other. Not to the same extent that we have with the United States. So for us, it was a Canada-US agreement predominantly, even though there was, definitely a Mexican component. And trade with between Mexico and Canada has grown, but I know, it's just not the same thing. We're not as worried about, Mexico taking Canadian jobs away. And you...
50,000 credit weekly bonus from usually. Whoop-de fucking do.
Yeah, I know, eh? So you didn't do it either. You didn't get your credits together in time either.
I'm like 700 light, damn near 700 light years away from Cubeo.
You don't have to be at Cubeo. You just need to be near a control sphere. Control
I am 600 light years away from any control sphere.
Where the hell are you? Hang on. That's it. I'm going to find out where you are.
I'm hiding.
No, you can't hide from me.
Yeah, I can.
Well, you can, yes. But then we won't be able to talk to each other, so... Don't do that. Unless there's some reason you don't like talking to me now.
No, you just smell funny.
That's right. Oh, you're at Savis. There you are. I think I found you. I'll find out momentarily if this is you. Yep. Jesus Christ, what the hell? I wondered about this, what you were doing out here the other day anyway. What are you doing out here?
Building up multiple reputations with multiple factions.
Okay, what for? What's your end game?
Money.
Okay. I mean, I could fly out there, I guess, but it would take a while for me to catch up to you. You're not going to the Formidine Rift, are you?
No.
Because that's out this way as well.
That's another 1,000 light years farther away.
And then, yeah, and it just starts there. Here it is. I've got the base here that you're interested in. IC 1848 Sector, India, Sierra Tango, Delta 3-29.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about there.
The Heart and Soul Nebula, there's a base that's just in front of it. And this base is the beginning of the Formidine Rift.
Okay.
And this is where you can... I don't know where that new ship is that Obsidian Ant was talking about. That new derelict multi-generation ship that was sent out beginning of the 22nd century. Anyway, Heart and Soul Nebula is pretty far away from you still. But if we really want, we could go out there.
No, I'm sticking around here for a while.
But I think it would cost money. It always costs money to explore and do things. Like, I've started to see the galaxy in these monetary terms. And there's never enough goddamn money. Commodities. Let's dump our gold off. We win 1,000,000 credits.
Incoming message.
We have an incoming message. It's for you. Thanks to your dedicated service, you are considered an ally of LHS 2936 Free. Well, you know what that means. And there's a Cobra Mark III here with a commander in it. Somewhere. Now, the next step is taking the consumer technology first. We're going to have a look at missions. Mission board. Time to look at the mission board again. Synthetic fabrics delivery to Acellus Primus. Rare artwork salvage. Would you like some rare artwork? A 21st century Pacitile is here. Or perhaps a What?
What, huh?
Oh, it's a three-dimensional holographic sculpture.
Oh, I'm now also 40% Lieutenant Commander with the Federation Navy.
I'm 70% Lieutenant. So I guess I have to move on to... what is it called? Sub-Captain? Commander, something? Or Lieutenant Commander? I don't know.
You are what now?
I'm a Lieutenant, so the next rank is Lieutenant Commander.
Yeah, so I'm a rank ahead of you.
Yeah, you've always been a rank ahead of me. But you probably also have been doing more missions lately. I've been doing a lot of trading. I'm trying to get that last little bit of rank so I can get my elite standing and then visit the Founders World.
just know that the missions, the trade missions, build your rank there too, right?
Yeah, I know. I always look at them, but there's usually nothing here. Even, well, not at this station. It's at the other one that the generous missions come at. They're worth a couple million each. But I have to look at them first. Commodities market. Let's go to consumer technology 6167 buy. Full cargo hold. Confirm. 2.9 million now spent. Okay, and we are laying in a new course, galaxy map. We are going to LHS 6309. Book! Book! Launching. Spinning our ship around. Corridor is clear. There is a piece of debris floating in front of the door. It is wreckage from a spaceship, and it is blocking the door. I will ram the debris through the doorway. Oh, crap. Hang on. Apparently, ramming that debris cost me to get a fine. Said it was in violation of port protocols. But I don't know. It can shoot the debris if it wants, but it won't do anything because it's debris already. Shooting debris doesn't achieve anything.
Frameshift drive charging.
Perk Wunos.
Way ahead is clear. FFC out.
Oh, the other thing, when you come back into the bubble at any point in the future this week, let me know. I'd like to do a Guardian mission with you. We can boost our FSD range quite considerably according to what I've just learned from Sagittarius Eye. If we take our best ships... What's that?
That requires a whole lot of farming.
Well, you gotta go and you have to go on the base and solve the puzzle.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Once.
Some dumb ass comes flying out of the door. This is a fucking commander. He just comes flying through as I'm trying to enter. Tries to run right into me. Didn't work very good. I'm bigger than him.
Yeah. Yeah, sub-commanders aren't very bright. Oh god, it's hot. We are arriving at our target system. Oh.
What the fuck?
Why don't you play Ram the junior commander? And
I
not...
don't have a docking computer at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck my landing pad is. There it is.
Oh.
You get bounced around by other ships in the station.
Yeah, but if you're...
They don't have to worry about flying nights. They don't get fined. They don't get threatened to get shot.
No. But if you take the, if it's like a Cobra Mark III or something, you can actually bat them around the base a little bit and make their life hell until they go away. Or until you let them go away, more like.
Yeah, then I gotta deal with more stupid fines.
Not necessarily, not if you crash into them.
No, you get fined for unsafe flying, whatever fucking...
Yeah, but it's only a few credits. It's not that expensive.
No, it's just annoying.
Well, you probably piss them off more than they piss you off, is my point. Okay. So have you been paying any attention to the dust storm on Mars right now? There's a huge worldwide dust storm on Mars right now. This happens about once every 5 or 6 years.
That's nice.
Well, it makes it very difficult for the rovers on the surface, some of which rely on solar power to function. So Opportunity has shut down for now, but Curiosity runs on a nuclear reactor. Sorry, a nuclear isotope. So it's still functioning and doing some work. They found some organics in Gale Crater. And Mars is at its closest approach to Earth that it's going to be at for the next 15 years. I.e., when you go outside at night and you look up at the moon, you'll see Mars just to the left of it, and it will look larger and redder than usual thanks to the dust storm and the fact it's close to Earth, relatively. Once every 2 years, Mars passes on close approach to Earth. We're both at the same relative orbits in the solar system, but this is the closest the two planets will be for the next 15 years. Effectively until then.
I just got 10 million credits.
What's that?
I just got 10 million credits.
Outstanding. Can I have 10 million credits, please?
You gotta earn it.
How?
How do you want to earn it?
Prostitution.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're not my type.
Not with you. There's far more attractive people in the Empire than you. Boys and girls. Sorry about that. The problem with my prostitution idea is that there's far more attractive people in the Empire than me as well, boys and girls included. And I won't make any money. Okay. Woo! 6.8 million credits available if I deliver 4,400 units of tantalum to the Ovid system, 6.02 light years. Interesting. It's a decent offer, but there's only one of me here right now. Maybe I can go grovel to Harden. Harden?
Is he online?
I have no idea. I think he blocked me. I don't see him online anymore.
No, you blocked him.
Well, then I would still see him online, wouldn't I?
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes. Yes. Because I remember blocking Iron Jaguar and I could still see him online. But actually, I have no idea. I didn't block him, but he's not on my friends list right now. Which makes it difficult for him to converse with me.
Who's going to converse with you?
No one. I'm too disagreeable.
Well, you blocked Jaguar and Harden, so...
I didn't block Harden. That's nonsense.
You're the one who said you blocked him.
No, I defriended him. I didn't block him. But how is he supposed to talk to me if he's not on the friends list? You can't talk to anyone who's not on your friends list. Which is why I never bothered blocking people before, because there's no easy way for them to get a hold of you. Plus, it discourages me from groveling pathetically. Oh, for God's sake, 9.8 million credits. What? Oh my God, it went up. Now they want... There's a new offer. 5984 units of tantalum for 9.1 million credits. You know, if I let this go on long enough, the amount of money I'll be able to make will be, like, really, really dumb. Ooh. Ooh. Delivery of 180 units of explosives. Oh, that's interesting. Hang on. Go back. Take the gold off the list. Okay, now I want you hurry up. There we go. 4.5 million for delivering 132 gold to the Molina system. 17 light years away, except. Eh. 60 units of surface stabilizers to the Talon system for 653,616. Big boost to reputation, though. And we will go to the Talon system. And the rest we will fill with gold from the commodities market. Cargo full at 30 more credits. Capacity achieved. Thank you. Okay. We have a 5 million credit.
Wife's yelling again.
Oh, okay. Talon system. The Melina system. We'll go here. Launching.
Ship restraints retracted. Follow the greens on your way out.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging.
Do 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 do
I'm back again.
Outstanding.
Only this time I'm eating my supper.
I already ate. I had tuna.
I'm having crappie.
You had craft?
Crappie. Type of fish.
Oh, okay.
FFC channel open. Submit a
Freshwater panfish that is native to North America.
Well, I'm gonna have some calamari soon, but I wonder if I should feel guilty about it. Octopus are said to be pretty intelligent.
I wasn't smart enough to not get caught, so...
It's a cephalopod. Spineless invertebrate.
Flight assist off.
Well, you look at that, it's a...
Smart or not.
What? I don't eat things that can sink.
Well, then you're a vegetarian.
No. Just because I don't...
Animal on this planet thinks.
Just because I don't eat dolphins does not make me a... Holy
Every
shit.
animal on the planet has a brain, therefore it can think.
You know, not very well.
It doesn't matter.
Your assigned landing pad
Yes, it
number
does.
17. You are go for automated docking. Enjoy the ride, Commander.
That's just how I separate the animals I'm willing to consume as meat. I'm still an omnivore, like yourself. I must have meat. Although I periodically do try vegetarian diet. Periodically. It's expensive, though. For some reason, fruits and vegetables are costing more and more goddamn money.
He costs more money than veggies around here.
Here, everything's just kind of expensive. But I'm talking about the fresh produce, like the watermelons that I've been eating lately, or the cantaloupe. Stuff that they have to fly in from Christ only knows what corner of the planet.
Probably California. That's where we get a lot of our fruit and vegetables from, too.
Yeah, they still have to fly it, though, through the air, which is the expensive part of dealing with it. At least in space, you don't have to worry about pollution quite so much, although they are planning to create a new type of satellite that will collect all the garbage that we've been pumping into orbit across the last 60 years. Apparently there's a ring of garbage now forming around the equatorial regions of our planet.
Yeah, we've been doing that for 20 years.
Well, we have to clean up the garbage now because it's starting to interfere with space travel, so...
Well, we just blamed it on the damn Canadians years ago.
Oh, another satellite went down. Well, we'll just launch another one. This one's as big as a building, but... well, the odds of it hitting anything or surviving re-entry are so small. Yeah. I think our nation's first satellite was called Alouette.
Do you have authorization to be inside the docking bay? Remember,
Nice generic English-French sounding name. It was like our aircraft carrier, the Bonaventure. Or Bonaventure in English. It works in English and French. Would you believe that Canada, though, isn't all that unusual in terms of having more than one official language? Switzerland actually has 5 official languages, 4 that are generally spoken. They have German. Let's see. I think it's German, French, Italian, Romansh. Maybe it's just the 4. I can't honestly imagine, like, getting every government document, every regulation, every law translated into 4 different languages. It would be a hugely expensive undertaking. Of course, now I guess we've got Google Translate to do it for us, but... would you be surprised to learn that Google Translate doesn't get it right all the time?
Many languages are spoken, or historically have been spoken in the United States. Today, over 350 languages are used by the U.S. population. The most commonly used language is English, specifically American English, which is the de facto national language of the United States. Since the 1965 Immigration Act, Spanish is the second most common language in the country. The United States does not have an official language.
Oh, really?
State governments recognize specific languages. For instance, the state government of Louisiana offers services and documents in French, as does New Mexico in Spanish.
You're
There
kidding.
are many languages indigenous to North America or to the United States, or holdings in the Pacific region. Hawaii, although having few native speakers, is an official language along with English of the state of Hawaii. Alaska officializes English and 20 native languages.
Impressive.
So the United States does not have one recognized language.
Because it was my understanding, and this is Canadian history being taught, from my studies in Canadian history, of course, New France used to extend all the way around the 13 colonies, right? At one point, the biggest obstacle to American expansion west was what we now call Quebec, because it extended all the way down the Mississippi to Louisiana and out into the Gulf of Mexico. And then there was the French, sorry, the American, what I think the 13 colonies called the Indian War. A war with multiple tribes that were limiting expansion outside the 13 colonies due west. And there was an American victory under, this is still under British rule, but there was an American victory. And so New France negotiated to secede Ohio, like what's now called Tennessee, Oklahoma, all those places along the Mississippi, including Missouri. But Louisiana was not included. Louisiana was made part of a separate purchase from France eventually, when the United States got a hold of it. And it was my understanding at that point that the French language was repressed in Louisiana. Now that might have changed, the policy might have changed.
No, it never.
Well, because the British exported a whole boatloads of Acadians, French-speaking Maritimers, out of Nova Scotia, and took over the colony of Nova Scotia from French occupancy, and repopulated it with English occupants. The French, in turn, went to Louisiana as a result. That did happen. And this is in the 1700s. So
The United States, once the United States got control of Louisiana Purchase,
yeah,
the French language wasn't
abolished.
because France was actually one of our allies back then.
Yeah, but I don't think didn't France, like at that point in time, did France actually give a shit? They didn't give a shit about, I mean, they ceded Quebec to the English after the Plains of Abraham year. And the Quebecers at the time felt kind of betrayed. They thought they were going to be traded back into French hands again, but they weren't. They actually ended up becoming, a protectorate of the English. And they became one of the four founding provinces of Canada.
According to the 2000 U.S. Census, people of German ancestry make up the largest single ethnic group in the United States. The German language ranks 5th in the most spoken.
Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles. Da, 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 da. I don't suppose you know what Deutschland, Deutschland über alles means.
Don't really care.
Germany, Germany above all others. It was the national anthem of Germany for a time. Someone had told me it was during the Nazi era, but that isn't correct, I don't think. But I'm a bit surprised to hear that it was the most common European segment of the American population. I would have thought it to be Italian or Spanish.
No. The Midwest part of this country, like where I live, is
Predominantly German.
Very German.
Yeah.
Very German. I'm German.
Yeah, I know you're German, but there's Irish in there. There was the Irish potato famine that resulted in the expulsion or the migration of Irish refugees during the potato famine of the late 19th century. Which is why Ireland today only has a couple million, like Dublin City only has it's under 2 million people. It's the capital of Ireland. The whole country is under 5, I think. There were millions of Irish who starved to death in the potato famine. It was horrible. But Reagan, one of your presidents, Kennedy, another one of your presidents, a good number of American presidents have actually been of Irish ancestry. So I thought Irish were better represented.
You know, there's a lot of Irish.
They just seem interested in the presidency.
It's to the point that there's so much blending of cultures that it's tough to figure out.
I'm still waiting for the United States to have its first Aboriginal president. Like a Navajo president or something like that. I suspect that will happen before Canada, unfortunately, before Canada gets its first Aboriginal Prime Minister. But in the next 1,000 years, I expect Canada to be led by multiple Aboriginal Prime Ministers. I think an Aboriginal candidate could win the Democratic or Republican nomination. Probably a Democrat, but I think it's possible. Of course, if they're Navajo, they're probably from Nevada, so, or New Mexico.
After serving as United States representative and being repeatedly re-elected as United States Senator from Kansas, Curtis was chosen as Senate Majority Leader by his Republican colleagues, a member of the Kaw Nation born in the Kansas Territory. Curtis was the first person with significant Native American ancestry and the first person with acknowledged non-European ancestry to reach either of the highest offices in the United States government, executive branch. He also was an executive branch officer born in a territory rather than a state. His mother was Native American of mixed Kaw, Osage, and French ancestry. His father was of British origins, being half English, quarter Scottish, and half Welsh. He was the 31st President of the United States from 1929 to 1933.
There you go. You've already beaten us.
So we've already had Native American. It took a while for to get a black guy as president. We've only had one Catholic president.
Kennedy, yeah. Though it could be argued Reagan was technically Catholic as well, but perhaps not. Okay.
Do you have authorization to be inside the docking bay?
Surface stabilizers, Unit 60. Kavandi Depot. It is in the Tilion system. Open the galaxy map. Make course.
Charles Curtis was also vice president. He is the vice president under President Herbert Hoover.
Hoover, yeah. Not of Hoover vacuums.
Of the president. Is in the Hoover Dam.
Ah, yes. The new plan. The New Deal, sorry. That's what it was called, the New Deal. Look, some rocks. Kavandi Depot is on the surface of... Kaita. Rocky world with little or no surface metal content. Kaita is the primary of the star called Tilion. Kaita or Tilion Prime. Course laid in. Computer. Exit and launch. Well, we just got 5 million credits almost from that last delivery. I think it was 4.5.
What the hell? You gotta make double of that.
Well, that was what was offered, so that's what I had accepted. There was 5 million, and now it's my 5 million. Ooh. Landing gear retraction complete. Exiting station. Laying in a course via LHS 3281. 17.4 light years. Computer stand by to engage engines. All ahead plan. Prepare to jump the ship. Jump the ship. FSD charge.
Clear the exclusion zone. Hope to see you again, Commander.
3, 2, 1, jump. Jump to Tilion. Charging. 9.8 light years. 3, 2, 1, jump. Now in the Tilion system. Oh, we're gonna be interdicted. Oh, except he collided with the star. Kavandi Depot on the screen. 178 light seconds. Approaching planet. Preparing for planet gravity well entry.
I'm gonna go find more food.
You do that.
Orbital flight engaged.
Hello, Commander Chewbacca. This is Commander Trium, your host.
Greetings. How you doing, sir?
Well, we are here at Kavandi Depot in the Tilian system.
Wonderful.
And we are trying to... You sound like you might be from England, are you?
Almost. From one of the colonies.
One of the colonies?
So, yeah, your guess as to which one, because originally I'm from Australia, but I live in the United States.
Yeah, okay.
We both were one of the colonies.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm from one of the colonies as well, except I happen to be in the federal capital of Canada, Ottawa, which used to... chosen by Her Majesty Queen Victoria as the capital.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, we just lost you, Chewbacca.
Telepresence crew member disconnected.
That was unfortunate.
Permission authorized. You are clear for approach to pad 09er. Automated docking assist is now in progress.
landing gear deployed. Telepresence crew member connected. Telepresence crew member connected. Scan detected.
Oh, good heavens, there's now 2 of you connected. Welcome, Azralu. Welcome, Idenolis.
Ship secured. This facility is in high alert, Commander. Security level Alpha is in effect.
Although only one of you apparently has voice communications enabled.
Telepresence crew member connected.
There we go. Hello, Idenolis. So, this is Kavandi Depot. We're in the Tilian system and we're here doing a mission. I'm providing mentorship services right now through my crew member posting, I guess. And we won't be staying here all that long.
Telepresence crew member disconnected.
We're just gonna dump off our mission, and then we'll resume doing what we were doing, which was heading into a lucrative trade market that I found. Boom time delivery of 60 units of surface stabilizers. Completing mission. Huge reward for this. Not really. I did it mostly for the reputation it gave me at the starport in question. Okay, we are now going to engage in boom time delivery of 22 units of hydrogen fuel because we can, and it does nothing. We're headed to that system anyway. So we will accept this one. Oh, except it's going to Tesla Station, which is 2,451 light seconds away from LHS 6309 entry. Yeah, I'll still accept the mission. One moment while I just confer here with my controlling faction. Wartime target scan operation. No. No, that's all it's here. Okay, we're leaving the starport. Okay. So Azralu, I can hear my own voice sometimes, so you must have a mic available. Or are you communicating only by keyboard?
Telepresence crew member connected.
A new crew member has joined. Atrumvir. You know, I had a guy from Australia on just a moment ago before all this activity started up.
This facility is guarded by automated surface-based defenses. Engaging in aggressive acts will result in a potentially deadly response.
Just one moment. I'm going to just check something here. In my settings, I'll be right back in a moment. Open options.
Effects on your ship and adjust your flight style accordingly.
Well, isn't that strange? Okay, we'll be lifting off then. Incidentally, I have a fighter aboard, so I'll be able to, when I launch the fighter, you can take control of it if we get into a combat situation. And that is quite possible to happen. It's usually better to have a person control it than the computer, usually. You can take a look at the fighter specifications, I think, from a screen in front of you somehow.
This port is equipped with automated defense systems. Individuals who tamper with these systems will be targeted by federal security forces.
Telepresence screen member connected.
Launching.
Ship detach complete. Clear for departure.
Landing gear retracted.
Setting a new course. Switching to galaxy map. Okay, we're headed back to LHS 6309 to complete another mission. And actually, hang on. Yeah, that's Wilson Base up there, isn't it? Yeah, so actually we don't want this one. Not just yet. We want to go up here
Member disconnected.
to LHS 2936, course laid in.
Frameshift drive charging.
Jumping to Iota Booties. Three, two, one, jump. Oh, I hear someone. What's that? Oh, well, there's a mic there somewhere because I can hear your voice. Hang on a second.
The mic from the computer, but I could make it to one from my phone.
Ah. Just a moment, I'm scanning the system. Actually, no, we're going to jump.
Frameshift drive.
And now we'll scan the system. LHS 2884. No new astronomical objects discovered in the Iota Buddha system. 3, 2, 1, jumping.
Frameshift drive charging.
There we go. No targets. Jumping one last time and we'll be at our destination. Making for Fraser Orbital. Wow, it's quite a parade of people connecting here. Hello, Burak 245. This is Commander Trium, your host.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. I'm using an Oculus VR headset, so you should be able to hear me perfectly as well.
I hear you.
Approaching destination, Fraser Orbital. Trouble is, I've only got one fighter, so if we get into a conflict situation, unfortunately, only one of you can fly the fighter.
I won't do it because I'm not that good and I didn't try it yet.
Well, whichever you, I'll let you two decide which one of you wants to control the fighter. I've only got one fighter slot on this ship. If I had my Anaconda, I own an Anaconda as well. I could. There's two fighters on that one, but we're not using the Anaconda right now. Okay, and momentarily request dock. Slowing. Engaging auto docking. Holy crap, there's some very long shadows being cast on the station.
Advise, traffic restrictions are in place at this facility. Maintain safe separation.
So you sound like you might be from somewhere other than North America, is that correct?
Sorry?
Sorry?
I didn't understand because of the sound it makes. I'm trying to get now the sound because you're lower than the others.
I'm just curious if your game interface, if you're using a game interface. I've seen some players, some commanders use the Russian interface, and I was wondering if you were one of those that was using the Russian localized interface to play Elite.
No.
No? Okay.
No, I mean normal one.
Oh, Burak 245 is got a friend request in, but that's on that side. Multi-crew killer. Chewbacca. There he is. Okay. Send friend request. Okay. Okay. So, here's what we're going to do. We have got to take our cargo, which is gold bullion, and sell it at this starport. We'll get lots of money for it. Sell. Profit 500,000 credits. Okay. Checking inventory. Still have haulage of hydrogen fuel, and we need to pick up a collection of... Yeah, we need to pick up consumer technology. There we are. Bye. Okay.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Cargo hold is at maximum capacity. Refueling. Selecting advanced maintenance. 97%. No. No. Ship integrity. Integrity corrected. Back. Okay, Azralu, can you just give me a moment? I'm going to try sending a voice comms request to someone I know on the other on another channel. Just give me one moment. I'll be right back.
Disconnected.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, okay. So I got both of you simultaneously. Chewbacca, this is Squaddle. He's a common wingman. That I play with. Sorry, I just wanted to, when you joined my crew, did you disconnect because you went solo, or, like, did something else happen?
It kicked me.
Oh, it kicked you? That's strange.
Yeah, it kicked me. So...
Don't usually see that happen all that often, but I wanted to... I didn't want to just, like, have it just...
I appreciate it. Well, I gotta... I'm in another ship right now, so I'm going to rejoin with this ship, but I'm hoping to catch up with you guys soon. That would be awesome.
Okay, yeah, feel free to contact myself, I guess, anytime you want to rejoin.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll talk to you again.
Definitely.
Right out.
Alright, bye.
Bye for now. Squaddle, I'm in chat with people that I'm talking to in my crew aboard my ship. So, if I'm gone for a few minutes, I'm just mentoring someone. I'll be back fairly quickly. Unless you want to, another option is to have you wing up.
Oh, you can't have people in your crew if you're in a wing.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
You can't do those two at the same time.
Okay, let me just get rid of, I'll talk to him for a little while and then I'll let him go and I'll be back here. Hello again, I'm back. I had a person join from Australia in your slot earlier, and that's why there was, and he just disconnected all of a sudden, so I just wanted to know what happened to him. And apparently there was a disconnection. Just some random error. But he will be back in touch with me later. Okay. So what you're witnessing here is basically just me going through the motions of trying to become richer through cargo. And this station, Fraser Orbital, is connected economically with another one called Wilson, which is in the LHS 6309 system. And these two systems together are producing multi-million credit missions at the moment. So I'm taking full advantage of this situation while it lasts, in order to get as much credits as I can out of the situation. Periodically, ships in either system may attack, at which point you'll be able to drop into fighter if you wish. Or leave it to Pejoratech to do while you control some of the guns on this ship. Any guns that are not under your direct control will auto-fire under the computer-guided AI and will shoot down enemy threat ships. It's important to note, while you are serving as the gunner aboard this vessel, you do not shoot at any of the other vessels that are not hostile, because it will result in you also being automatically kicked over something over which I have no control. It's just the rules of the game while you're being mentored. So, I'm just going to lay in a course now for the other station, which is Wilson Station in LHS 6309. I'm in the galactic map doing that right now. Course plotted. Launching. We are flying in a Type 9 freighter. This freighter is the largest cargo ship available in the game. Has the largest amount of cargo space available outside of one other ship, which is impossible for me to own right now because I am not a rank Duke or higher in the Empire. And then that, of course, is the Imperial Cutter class vessel. Okay, so we have 2 jumps we have to make at this juncture. Gauging thrusters. Jumping the ship. FSD charging. FSD stands for frame shift drive. It's the hyperspace jump technology the game uses. 2, 1, 0, jump. And there's our target, the LHS 6309 system. It takes 2 jumps at this range, 16.7 light years, because the ship, while filled with cargo, will not be able to jump more than 20 light years. Absent the cargo, and it'll make it 30 light years. Now jumping to LHS 6309. The system we're in has been scanned several times. There are no inhabitants. It's a binary system, with the other star being 30,000 light seconds away from the primary. The system we're coming up on includes a white dwarf star. A white dwarf star we cannot use because the ship is currently not equipped with a fuel scoop. Otherwise, you could use the fuel scoop to fly into those particle jet cones, and we would be able to get an FSD boost. Our range of travel would be expanded.
Something to do that.
Yeah, well, you have to have a fuel scoop. If you have one on board that's equipped, then you fly into the particle cone outside of the white dwarf star's exclusion zone, which is usually denoted temporarily by a yellow circle. And then you get a boost of about 60%.
Doing something like this.
You saw me doing something like this?
On YouTube, I saw this.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what the effect it was everything goes.
Yeah. Goes quite a bit farther.
The limit and the boost. So, made a fuel scope for that.
I have another ship at this space station we're approaching. It's a Diamondback Explorer. Normal range is about 50 light years it can jump. But I got a fuel scoop on board. So if I fly through one of those particle cones, I've made it over 70 light years in a single jump. It's very good for transporting me, because parts of my fleet are in other parts of the galaxy. So if I need to go to if I want, for example, to go visit my Anaconda vessel, I could get in my Diamondback Explorer and I could jump 200 light years, and just inside of 4 jumps, and I would be at the target world inside the Empire where I parked my Anaconda, and then I could fly that ship instead of this one. But if you're a new player, there's quite a bit to learn. We're getting involved with particle scoops and whatnot. Best just to fly around a little bit and get used to the environment that you're working in, or to pair up in a crew like you're doing now. Okay, and contact Wilson Terminal, requesting dock clearance.
Landing permission granted.
It's been granted.
Pad 3-2. Automated docking assist is now in progress.
What you're seeing here is a flight controlled by my docking computer, of course. This helps greatly when carrying large amounts of cargo from one place to another, since a ship is very difficult to move otherwise. It doesn't respond to thrusters quite as easily as the Diamondback Explorer, which is only a one-man vessel.
Landing successful. Ship secured.
Okay, we're now selling off our commodities. Profit was 573,620 credits. It's considerably less than it was yesterday. I think this world is running out of juice, so to speak. I'm just going to check on the mission board and see what we have. The mission board says, holy crap, I've got 18 million credits already. It's pretty good. In the last hour, I've got nearly 8.5 million credits.
Whoa. That's a lot.
Okay, so we're allied with the governing faction. So we have the best possible missions available. We can get 11.9 million from Tillian again, but we have to jointly deliver 6,078 units of gold. I need another freighter captain to agree to do that with me. And I don't have another freighter captain to do that with me right now. So it looks like we're not going to do any missions this time. Let's see here. There's some other interesting missions, though. The Melina system, if we deliver 2978. That's basically 3,000 units of gold for 5.9 million credits. And that is going to be at least 6 round trips to and from that system to complete, which I think is a little too many. Let's see here. Well, we could shoot some people. Certainly we could kill some of these people here. I don't know if I want to do that. No, I don't want to help the terrorists that use the station as a base. Artwork salvage. No. No, no, no. Nope. Let's just see here what we got. Nothing. Okay, we'll just do the commodities market then. Commodities, switch to gold.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
And we are launching.
Ship detach complete. Clear for egress.
Landing gear retracted.
Laying in a new course. Oh, we actually do have a mission we have to complete here. That's the Melina system. No. We'll set our target up here. Standby. Course plot complete.
You are clear to resume own navigation. Stay safe, Commander.
Laying a course for Tesla system. Sort.
Frameshift drive charging. Temperature critical. Shields online.
We have to finish the mission in this system off, or we proceed to the next system. This is Tesla Station, 2616 light seconds away. 2615. Oh, we have another commander in the sector. One moment. I'm going to get an identity on him. It's Commander Sauropod. Sorry, Sarupu. Whoa! We're still headed for Tesla. Commander's weapons have gone hot. But we're traveling 22 times the speed of light. He'll never catch us. 25C. 28C and climbing. Maxed out at 35 times the speed of light. Approaching station. Looks like we're approaching a habitable Earth-type world. We are. It's confirmed. We can see cities on the surface. Planet name is LHS 6309 Charlie 7. There looks like there's hundreds of millions of people here. And many continents. Atmosphere is 91.3% nitrogen, 8.7% oxygen. Density is 2.3 atmospheres. 1.02 G's gravity. Population 14.4 billion system-wide. And this planet will have a goodly number of those people. switching to autopilot.
Automated docking confirmed.
FSP 5152's Tesla Station, a Federation starport. We are cleared to dock at Bay 32. This is an agrarian station, I beg your pardon. Completing mission requirements. Okay, mission complete. Well, that's interesting. Acquired cargo space, 120 units of coffee. Current occupancy 460 gold. No, we got to deliver the gold first. There's no way out of that, unfortunately. Okay, at this juncture, I'm going to actually have to go back to my other party I got waiting on hold. So thank you for joining, Azralu. We'll catch you on again at some point, alright? Take care.
Incoming message.
Hello?
Music. Music.
Music?
Hello. Yeah, tell the voice tech to shut the music off. Voice command on. Did you have fun doing your tutoring?
Oh, yes. I got 2 friend requests approved out of the deal. One of them it was difficult to understand. He's from Europe somewhere. Not a language I speak at any rate. And the other fellow was from Australia. He's living in the United States, though. No doubt he's part of the DACA generation. It's going to be exported out under Trump's new policies. But he can come here and live in Canada if he wants. We'll have him. His home country is a member of the Commonwealth, after all. We have to have him. It's not true, actually, but... Actually, the Australians deported one of their own back to Canada because the Australian citizen is not an Australian citizen, but he grew up in Australia, born and raised, basically. But he was technically born in Canada. So he committed some kind of crime in Australia, and the court decided as punishment, rather than jailing him, they'd send him back to Canada and deport him. Problem is, he doesn't really know anyone here. He doesn't... He doesn't have family or friends here or anything. They're just sort of packing him up and shipping him off back to Canada because he holds the Canadian birth certificate.
That's kind of stupid.
It is kind of dumb. I think it's got something of caused something of an outrage in Australia somewhere, but I don't know if he's going to get to stay or not. I think he got a stay of execution ordered because it happened a while ago, and I didn't hear anything further about it. But
best favorite is June.
Now, if you keep eating all that damn jelly, you won't have any left.
I'm not eating it. We gotta use the big jar first.
Might have to just go in my garage to see if you can find that big canner.
You have a cannery?
Yeah, we can can. She's eating jelly right now.
Good heavens. You can manufacture your own jelly.
Oh. There's a lot of things that we can do.
Wonder if I should get you to send me a can of your favorite jelly. Of your specialty jelly. Oh wait, there'll be tariffs on it.
Oh, I got a smoker. I can smoke meat. I've got a dehydrator. I can dehydrate vegetables.
No. I just want jelly with my morning croissant. If you have black cherries, or if you have any of that prairie food out there.
Strawberry is what she's making.
Rhubarb? I love rhubarb.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good.
5 big rhubarb plants.
That's a prairie delicacy. That is. Gotta have rhubarb. We had the most gigantic rhubarb plant in my backyard. I swear to Christ, it was as big as a house almost. When I was growing up in Beausejour.
What's up? Yeah, when I moved into this house, I went and I bought a small plant. I planted it.
And it turned into a giant plant.
I dug it up. I split the root into 8 pieces. I put 6 of them in the ground. Gave away the other 2. One of them died over the winter. I don't know why or how.
Okay.
So I have 5 plants, and they're all basically the whole one side of my garage has got rhubarb all along the length of it.
Holy shit!
I give away probably 10 or 15 pounds of rhubarb every summer.
Well, if you want to ship me some rhubarb, I would be very much appreciative.
I don't know how to. You'd have to freeze it somehow.
Oh yeah, I can freeze it. I can freeze it.
I'm saying I would have to ship it to you.
Oh well, yeah. Well, no, you turn it into a cake or something, like a rhubarb pie, maybe. And then you freeze that, and you put that in the mail, and it'll make it here. Christ, I just lost, I don't know if you have how many Icelanders you have that live close to you, but in Manitoba, of course, Icelanders love to settle around Lake Winnipeg at one point in time. So there's a bunch of Icelandic food now that I've become addicted to, like vinaterta or rulapilsa. And rulapilsa is smoked, actually, but it's very complicated. You know, why what it is with Icelandic food? It's just very complicated to make it. It's hard to explain, like, exactly what the hell you'd have to do to get a good rulapilsa or a vinaterta dessert. And I don't know what I'm going to do this Christmas. This will be the first Christmas I'm going to be without vinaterta because my father doesn't have a source for it anymore. It's immediately close to him. The woman has stopped making it and selling it. So the giant terta I got for this Christmas past was the last one, I was told. I'm going to have to go online and find a new source for it.
You might be able to find someone.
I'm sure I can, and the only thing is that if I don't, I'll be forced to make it myself. And that won't be pretty. Okay, would you believe I've made, in the time that I've been chatting it up with you and making new friends, I've made over 8.5 million credits, and in this session alone, it's upwards of 12 to 14 million, just from doing missions coupled with cargo.
You still want to guess how much I've made?
Yeah, but I mean, I only have got 512 metric tons of cargo available, so I think I'm doing pretty good here.
I've pulled 35 million since we started talking.
Well, I That's twice what I'm doing.
Twice? You've only pulled 8.
No, 14 is what I said total in the past.
14? Oh.
Since you joined. I think it's 14. I had to spend some of it. Oh yeah, I haven't got the cargo space for this. Shit. Well, the hell with that. I'm just gonna fucking go deliver my gold bullion. And I still have $1 million sitting out there somewhere that I have to go pick up because
I lost $5 million when I blew myself up for shooting you.
yeah, I never sorted that out, eh? I don't know if you shot me or I can't really convict you of that, you realize, because I don't know that your act of shooting me actually caused me to lose anything.
You didn't do anything aggressive, so...
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're to blame all of a sudden. It just means that the game went kind of nuts and started shooting at me for some reason that's as yet unknown. But I think it should be a rule of the game that if you get shot at, there's an explanation that goes as to why you're being shot at. Either the ship itself tells you if it's an NPC ship, or, you know, if it's a human, I mean, obviously there's nothing you can do. A human could attack you for any reason the human feels inclined to. But everyone else needs a damn reason. Okay, so we're good. Launch.
I started at 65 million. I'm now at 100 million credits.
Okay, so you're up 40 million total.
35 right now.
Holy shit.
That's profit for the day. I've spent some.
Docking clamps retracted. Depart when ready, Commander.
Yeah, I'm not counting the whole day, I'm just counting the last few hours, but I've got a new system here that seems to be working, so it's making more money than it was before.
Landing gear retracted.
Frickin' hauler. Okay. Now, let me just go over here to Pakaloos. Oh, sorry, Perkwunus. We are mass locked. Now we are not. I'm flying over a planet with at least 10 billion people on it.
Landing gear.
It's the only terrestrial planet in the system.
Landing gear.
For some reason, I keep having these thoughts about rhubarb being one of the crops you could grow fairly easily on Mars. Like a good Martian rhubarb. Oh, under attack. This is an Alliance Challenger class vessel. And to hell with them, we're gonna yield. And then we'll fight him.
Okay, Commander. I'm opening up the fighter bay now.
Under attack.
Friendly fire isn't, Commander.
Yes, dear. Apparently I just shot my own fighter.
Seeing some hull damage here, Commander.
Yeah, when I crewman, the one that was named Baby William.
Yes. That,
but at least I'm making more money without a crewman.
target is at 64% hull. Enemy shields went back up. My shields are down almost. Wow. That was a fight. Target was eliminated.
I got all turrets, multi-cannon turrets on this thing right now. Takes a little longer to kill shit without the big guns.
Oh, I've got burst lasers on this thing. It should be able to.
Problem is, my cutter, I run so close to power, but I'm at 92% right now. Putting big guns on them, I'm over 100 right away. If I just go fly this thing across the galaxy in engineers, I need to just open up engineers.
Okay, coming up on targets. Here they are. Limpets. Limpet 1. Limpet 2. Limpet 3. Recalling fighter.
I don't even have a fighter on this shit.
Shield emitters, high density composites, focus crystals.
I have to find a couple people to join my crew on my crate one of these days. Go play with a couple fighters.
Well, that's what the human crews are for, and there's always people looking for to join with a crew. And usually there aren't enough ships offering crew slots.
Fighter is in the bay. We're ready to go, Commander.
I got 2 spots in my cutter. I'm just running passengers. God damn it, that ain't what I wanted.
Flight assist off.
What the hell is this guy doing? He's making off with my... It's a probe, a limpet. But he's grabbed a hold of the cargo, and now he's taking off with it.
Who's doing this?
My limpet. It just decided to up and take off with some cargo. I'm chasing this fucking thing down.
Flight assist on.
Here. Let's stop it here. I'll wait for him. And in the meantime, we will take our weapons.
Cargo scoop retracted. Cargo scoop deployed. Cargo scoop retracted.
Cargo scoop retracted. Engines resuming flight.
Frameshift drive charging.
3, 2, 1. Engaging.
Frameshift drive charging.
Whoa, we're being attacked again. This time it's a crate run by the vicious Kimura. I don't know if I feel comfortable with it. I'm going to try to evade.
You're in a...
Type 9.
Type 9?
Yeah.
Crate could probably take you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just...
What he's got.
Okay. Hang on. I'm pulling away very gradually from this son of a bitch. It's an NPC Crate Mark II. Oh, he's only got one thing left. I beat him. I'm close to the station, but I can't get a fix on the frickin' thing because... There we go. Ordinarily, I would never run from a fight, but the crate possesses too great a threat at the moment. Two, one. Auto dock enabled. Rem lock. Wearing a diaper was never safer.
Personal problem.
What's that?
That sounds like a personal problem.
Very personal. Your spacesuit is very personal, and so is your diaper.
I got a commode installed on my shit.
Well,
I can just shit whenever I feel like.
Yeah. I'm taking one right now. Holy shit! I just got overflown by a Type 10. I keep forgetting how just fucking gigantic the Type 10 is.
It's a little bit bigger than your freighter.
What's that?
It's bigger than your freighter.
Yeah, it sure is. Oh, I spent 4,000 credits worth of missiles in my last battle. Quite a cackle your daughter has.
That was my wife.
Was it your wife?
Yeah, that was my wife.
Sounded like your daughter, I thought. And now we will sell for 10,000 per ton. Oh my god. You know what? This run that I've been doing is getting less and less lucrative on the base commodities.
Yeah, you got gummy worms.
They're for you, sir.
Give me my gummy worms, child.
Holy shit.
3/4 impulse.
Better hurry up. The little birdie wants your word.
Oh my god. Ah!
Maximum capacity.
And shoot the dog.
Hey! Zip it!
Oh my god. What the hell is going on here? The air conditioning not working? Or what the hell? Hang on a second, I gotta see what's up with the air conditioner. It stopped blowing air. Oh, here we are. Oh, it might be cooling off outside, I can't tell. Give me a minute, I'll be right back. Oh my god. Hello again. Are you still there? Hello? Oh, dear God. Hallowed are the Ori. Oh, good.
You back yet?
Yeah, I'm back. I've been back for a while. Where have you been?
I decided to go pee. I had to go pee-pee in the potty. It's just something about the Cubeo system. As long as I'm not in Cubeo, my computer doesn't seem to be freezing up, locking up.
Okay, 18 million. Where the hell are my missions? Come on, load! There we go. Fucking Jesus. $2,884, 2 million credits, non-lethal weapons. 2884. $1.9. Yeah, we'll take that one. 370 light seconds is 12 point.
I pulled about 11.5 million on that run. I also built up factions too, so. Rep.
Accept that one. Okay, so hallowed are the Ori. 84 units of reactive armor will get me 1,050,000 credits. 50,600 credits from LHS 2884 on a planet thereabouts, so that's a second million. Except this one will open the map. And we will put the trade data there, and we will stick this here, thus. Back. Back. Accept. Accepted. And now we're done. Okay, so what do we got now? We have a cargo hold with non-lethal weapons, reactive armor, and consumer technology. All worth about 2.5 million credits, approximately.
maximum capacity.
This is going to be a crappier run, but getting reputation so I can open up more missions.
1 second.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Okay, so coming out of Fraser Orbital. We may now launch.
Beluga liner.
Landing coupler disengaged. Clear for departure.
That's what I spent all those credits on. It cost me 6 million credits just to get all that propaganda ready for Agelin Duval. So I could buy the, to get promoted to level 3 next time.
Landing gear retracted.
Yeah, I got tired of paying 4 million credits a week just to bump shit around. Decided when I'm ready, I'll go a couple weeks with it. Then I'll go back and pay 7 million credits on Wednesday evening. Get that in the Thursday, buy shields and levers. I might just stay where I'm at for quite a while. I'm gonna make decent coin here, might as well.
Frameshift drive charging.
Jumping to target system. A friend from Australia logged off.
Down?
Yep, he's probably down for the night. Heading for Abnet platform. Makes it easy to find things in this system. There's only one planet, and there's a starbase orbiting the planet. So it's either at the planet or just above the planet. Incoming threat detected. It's a vulture. This one we're going to take. Slowing down and submitting.
Okay, Commander. I'm opening up the fighter bay now. SLF is online. Standing by.
This asshole has a shield cell.
That's one thing I like on my crate. It's got those 3 beams on it, those healing beams.
Yeah.
And I could sit there. I went into a conflict zone. I was screwing around for a while. I can rip shields down real well with those. Then I gotta sit there and wait until I can get close enough to them with freight cannon. I can fire off 5 rounds with a freight cannon in about 2 seconds, so I can really do some damage to smaller ships. And that thing will keep up. I can take on all the little vultures and vipers. In the conflict zone, the pythons are getting to be a little bit much to take.
Under attack.
son of a bitch. This guy's being a huge asshole. Oh, he just passed below me here. He's down to 50% hull. He hasn't got through my second shield ring yet. Okay, look you.
We're go for automated retrieval, Commander.
Oh, fuck off! Isn't that just wonderful? Fighter got destroyed.
Getting your ass handed to you?
No, not so much. It's just the game keeps fucking up with the controllers, and the results are, well, less than ideal. And this idiot fucked around with my goddamn settings.
Who fucked around with your settings?
Fuck off. This asshole's trying to leave. Police ships finally have shown up, and he's jumped away. Fucking assholes! God, that pisses me off. And the fucking goddamn controller just has to jam up. I'm gonna shove it up the fucking... Yeah, stick it up your ass, dickhead. You stupid fucker. For that, he gets nothing, though.
Scan detected. Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage.
I'm clean, you can proceed, pilot.
Mission critical message.
Fucking asshole, Jesus fucking Murphy. Controller fucked up. I switched into the fighter out of my mothership, and in the second that I literally appeared in the fighter, the Vulture destroys the fighter. I switch back automatically to my mothership. What do I find? All the settings have been altered by the goddamn AI, so that they're basically totally off target. Just fucked up the whole goddamn fight. Did nothing for me at all. All that fucking idiot who's my first officer did was get in my way. Well, I can't blame him entirely. The controller did... My gimp-ass controller did a pretty good job of screwing up everything, too. Move! Holy crap, you're taking all night! Dock with this damn station tonight. Oh my god. course it's waiting in the frickin' queue.
Scan detected.
And yet another scan, because you can never be scanned too many times.
Pilot Federation, promotion to Ranger.
What? There's no rank Ranger in the Federation.
The pilot, whatever.
Oh, it's the Explorer rank or something.
Oh, okay. Sweet. I was trying to figure, I'm looking at it like, what the hell's a Ranger?
Yeah, it's one of the Explorer ranks. It has nothing to do with anything, really.
I'm at 3% Ranger now.
Yeah, and you're still so far away from being an elite and Explorer that...
And I've yet to beat a Shinrata Desert or whatever the hell it's called.
Founder's World.
Ship is on the ground. Commence power down.
Mission board.
Commander.
Let's see how long it takes to load the missions board here. Dum da dum da dum da dum dum da dum da dum. Show me the credits. Isn't that nice?
Welcome to this starport. We invite you to check the wide array of services we offer, and we hope you enjoy your...
Sigma booties. No, I don't think so. Not interested. Barely. No, not interested in at all. 2 Alliance representatives. They want me to kill everyone, or...
We will be forced to respond to aggressive actions. For peace of mind, please stay weapons whilst inside the docking bay.
Okay, so where else can we go in this freaking useless system? Reactive armor is located where? Kennedy Vision, LHS 2884. Isn't that where we are?
Oh, well.
Yes. Kennedy...
between here and there.
Kennedy Vision's on the planet. So now we're going to the planet. System map, please. Show me data on the planet. Planet is Planet Conti. Rocky world with little or no surface metal, blah, 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 blah. 80% rock, 20% metal. Iron, sulfur, nickel, carbon, chromium, phosphorus, manganese, zirconium, cadmium, tin, and tellurium. Meh. Meh. No volcanism, no atmosphere, no gravity, no nothing. Almost as if this useless place isn't even here.
Landing constraint lifted. You are go for departure.
Landing gear deployed.
on the far side of a planet between us and the parent star, primary star of the system. It's on the daytime side, which is where we are going. Low intensity conflict zone ahead. In our orbital path.
Orbital flight engaged.
Inside visual range and the glide path.
Request dock.
Scan detected. Landing gear deployed.
Ship is on the ground. Perform landing checklist. Take note, Commander. A civil war is currently affecting the area. Watch who you side with.
Ah, Civil War was in the air. Watch who you side with, he warns me.
Ah, you're supposed to side with the losing side.
I prefer to side with the winners.
But you get more combat experience by siding with the losers.
And then you die, possibly.
You jump away before you die.
Unless your controller fucks up, yes. Hallowed are the Ori. Okay. I guess it's time to go deliver the rest of our inventory to 7,000 credits in missiles. highway robbery.
That's about 9 million on that run.
Oh, good. I only got 2.5. Oh, Type 7 freighter just took off next to me. We need to lay in a course for elsewhere in the galaxy. Somewhere they need consumer technology, which would be in the 6309 system. Yes? Yes. Two jumpies, he says. Two jumpy? Via the Opala system. Sorry, via the Styx system. I'm crossing the system Styx. Isn't that bad luck or something?
The river used to get to the underworld in Greek and Roman mythology.
Yes. I'm very familiar with the boatman.
You've been on that river a few times?
I have sailed those very difficult waters before. Not many times, not as many as some, but more than others. Approaching the Styx system. Oh, fuck off. God damn it.
Redshift charge detected.
Clear for automated approach vectoring.
Unfortunate.
Landing gear deployed.
Loitering is a crime, punishable by death. Please make sure you have authorization before you enter the docking bay.
Offline.
Less than 500,000 credits worth of consumer technology. Now selling at 7,418 per ton. Mission board. The mission board, the mission board. What is up with the mission board? Well, for 11 million for 11 million credits, we have to ship 5650 units of gold to Chirculus, 7.2 light years away. It is worth it, but it will take far too long to do. By myself. And so, we will go get our last million from the old community goal site. By taking a reduced number of limpets. And we are ready.
This station operates a zero-tolerance policy towards criminal infractions. Obey station law.
Well, we've got 22 million credits this session so far. How long do you have to pick up your community goal mission? The whole...
I couldn't tell you. I've never done a community goal.
Ensure you have authorization before attempting to disembark.
Jeez. Like, it's out by Fusang, and it's gonna take... It's gonna take quite a bit of effort to go out there and get it, and it's likely I'm gonna go out there again when it comes time to get my Anaconda involved in something again, which could happen any day. Oh, there's Fusang. It's only 88 light years away. And 3 jumps, even with the freighter. That's interesting. I was going to take the Diamondback, but the freighter's only 3 jumps away.
What, you Fusang?
Yeah. It's 88 light years away from where I am. That's pretty good, actually. Oh, someone's at Gateway. Who's at Gateway?
Oh no.
Azrilu. Isn't that Gargamel's cat? No, that's Azrael. Never mind.
Azrael is the lion in Witch in the Wardrobe movies.
And Didiomanja. Current community goal. Which is near my battleship. I believe my battleship is around here somewhere. Well, that's weird. There it is. It's actually far away from the battleship. And you're still in the southern system.
Yep.
Oh, what time is it? 10:39. I think it's time to call it a night for me at this juncture, so that's what I'm going to do.
I'll be doing the same thing here as soon as I get back to the base.
Okay, well, you have yourself a good night.
Okay.
See you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye for now.
Yep, bye.
Mind your speed and your...
And although I was going to go claim that cash that's outstanding, I'm going to forego that for now. And instead we will likely resume collecting cash tomorrow. Hereabouts once again. We did pretty good. I think we earned in excess of 20 million credits. Hard to know exactly how much, but we had less than our ship's estimated value to start off the evening, so after a few hours of gameplay we have corrected that problem and now can readily purchase any cargo and be assured that we have enough to cover the loss of the cargo and the ship. Both, if need be. That being said, let's hope it doesn't happen for quite a while. Anyway, this is Commander Trium. I'll be signing off. I'm at Wilson Terminal, and I'm in the LHS 6309 system. It is 2:41:09 Zulu, 6 July, 3304 Friday, in the year 2018. Don't know what it is exactly in 3304, but we'll be back on tomorrow, I expect. Thanks once again for watching. You can find out further details related to Commander Trium and or these ongoing video logs if you access the address via Twitter or via the blog account, the blog site rather, both of which are part of the video properties of this video. You simply have to click the More button. It will slide down and will show you the video properties. Included therein are the two URLs cited previously. And since we are using YouTube to broadcast, of course, don't forget that you can click I like and subscribe. The bell icon to the right of the subscribe button in the standard YouTube interface will give you ongoing notice in Google Chrome as to when new media is posted to this library, Commander Trium's video blog library on YouTube. And again, thanks to all of you for watching. This is Commander Trium signing off for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.